Right. Um, this is just like any other stream. Nothing out of ordinary, really. I don't think I'll be too energetic on this one. So.
Up, we get some pretty good content from these people.
What do you feel when you hear the term white people?
Cringe about it.
Word.
Cringe? Yeah.
Pick a word, but that's a very good one.
A little anchor.
Matt had to fake cry and excuse himself because he can't hold in all the f***ed up things he wants to scream at this woman. And while he's gone, they Google him and find out who he is, because he made it so obvious that he's out of place. And when he comes back, they ask him to leave in the nicest way possible.
I would really appreciate it if you left so that the people who actually want to be here and deserve to be here can get what they need.
I do want to be
Can
here.
you please leave?
Come with me.
Well,
Thank you.
I didn't consent to be touched.
Also, he acts incredulous that they feel actually unsafe knowing who he is.
I just want to know that, like, my physical safety and yours and everybody else's here is okay.
Why would your physical safety not be okay?
Implying that his very presence physically intimidates them. But no, Matt, it's because they know you have an army of millions of rabid fans who do stuff like this when they get mad. So Matt did capture a couple cringy lines, but ultimately only succeeded in making himself look like an annoying asshole and having me sympathize with the people he's trying to make look bad. And what did he learn from this? That he needs to shut up and let the weird people talk? That he should learn to act and improvise better and really let them expand on their silly ideas? No, Matt decides he needs a better disguise and puts on a man bun wig.
If I want to be an ally, I need to look like one.
But he already looked like a hipster liberal. You weren't discovered because you look conservative. You were discovered because you're a bad actor and comedian.
Is it because I said I had 17 black friends? It might have been 15. It depends on how you count them.
And the real reason you didn't need a disguise in the first place is because you aren't interesting or famous enough to be recognized by normal people. Also, wait, as part of his disguise, he pulls up his pants to show his ankles. Was this a joke? Is this a liberal stereotype? Conservative explain! The next prominent infiltration is this race to dinner event. Now, these hosts are pretty insane. We get to hear them say a lot of insane stuff because Matt wasn't allowed to participate, so he had to infiltrate as a waiter, meaning he can't interrupt as much.
You cannot separate yourselves from the bad white people. The Second Amendment, which is literally synonymous with white supremacy. To be clear, what's happening in this country, it's Nazism. Republicans are Nazis.
Hey, editing soy pill here. This one's less crazy after Elon did this at the inauguration.
But of course, it's his movie, so he has to draw attention to himself and derail everything.
This country is a piece of shit. I mean, I used to be a white woman, an unsuccessful one. All you do is talk shit about each other, talk shit about yourself. Oh my God, I'm so fat.
That's all they do. Sorry.
White people are starved for these conversations.
We are. We're so starving.
Yeah.
We are so starving for this.
You need to shut the up.
His intrusions add absolutely nothing to their rhetoric, and instead make them angry and frustrated. And again, people immediately suss him out as an actor.
Is he an actor? Are you an actor?
Oh, no.
Can you let us, we're trying to listen and trying to have this conversation.
Okay.
His only escalation is this moment.
Can I just say one last thing? Can I just propose a toast? Raise a glass if you're racist. And that's the thing.
In another timeline, getting these people to toast to their own racism could have been a good escalation. But after all that, it looks like they're just humoring him so he'll leave and let them continue. Good job, Matt. You once again were so annoying and unfunny, you made me sympathize with the people who said this.
The entire system has to burn. And I'm not going to even use save this country. This country is not worth saving.
Problem 3. Matt's street interviews kind of undermine his message. Some of the infiltrations are interspersed with street footage, where Matt talks with random people. For most of these, his intention is to show that most people aren't on board with this DEI stuff. Matt says something that he's heard from the DEI folks, and people reject it.
Just talk to me about decentering your whiteness.
Why do I have to go away from my whiteness?
What are some ways that you're confronting your whiteness?
My what?
And this kind of undermines one of his major points about how crazy the left is. Like, yeah, most people do find this stuff ridiculous. This isn't even mainstream with your average Democrat.
What is DEI?
Maybe you're spending millions of dollars and thousands of man-hours complaining about something that's not that big a deal. Oh, Robin DiAngelo is a New York Times best-selling author? You know who else is, Matt? People on your stupid f***ing network. I'll give credit to Matt. The closest he gets to good satire is when he gets people to sign a petition to turn the Washington Monument into the George Floyd Monument.
Would you mind signing?
I'll see why not.
Okay.
That's a perfect example of what this whole movie should have been. Slightly exaggerated themes of the actual claims that you can get people to agree with. But then he caps this moment off with people saying it's dumb, so he can't even portray it properly.
Would you be willing to?
Can't agree with that.
Will you sign it?
No.
But the biggest issue I have with these street interviews is that Matt tries to use them to
Like, he really can't act. Like, the only person he can act is himself, which means he can't act.
show that racism isn't a real problem.
A lot of people pretty critical of this country. And, you know, it can be kind of a racist country.
No.
It's funny because one of the people he interviews says that he has immediate relatives that were in the KKK.
What do you think about racism in society? Do you think it's a big problem?
My dad, my uncle, my granddaddy were Klansmen.
You're not
No.
racist?
No.
Like, buddy, that's great if you're not racist, but people that close to you were in one of the most notorious racist groups in modern...
They were literally lynching black people. Like, this is insanity. And he plays it off like it's nothing.
history. And as much as I wish it was, the Civil Rights Act was not a magical scroll that disintegrated all the racists. And this leads into problem number 4. Actually, racism isn't a big deal. Matt Walsh is not just asking questions. He wants you to think that racism is over and not a problem anymore. How? Well, first, he takes news clips of people describing the real trend of hate crimes increasing, which is, hot take, not good, and then plays a montage of some of the hoaxes to imply that most, if not all of them, are. Now, there's an interesting paper from the DOJ about hate crimes, underreporting, and the trends. But the first thing you should know is that most hate crimes are classified as such because someone used some slur or bigoted language during an assault. And race is, of course, the #1 cited demographic. This study claims that there are up to 250,000 hate crimes a year, most of which go unreported. Given the fact that the difference between a hate crime and a normal assault can be one word, it's not that hard to believe how often it happens. My method to prove this would be to tell you to go to any blue-collar job ever and record the number of slurs per minute when there's no customers around.
And you're
Am I?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, yeah, that's f***ing rich.
Is it fucking rich? Is it fucking rich?
You want to get the f*** out of my face?
Shut the up.
Now, if you don't trust this paper's methodology or my foolproof method, Matt was kind enough to interview Wilford Riley, PhD, and author of Hate Crime Hoax. Another small credit to Matt, this is good comedic timing.
Hate crimes.
Riley's book posits that a substantial number of the yearly reported hate crimes are hoaxes.
Well, out of what, 20 million index crimes a year, there are 6,000, 7,000 hate crimes? No, there's no epidemic.
Don't the statistics show that anti-black hate crimes are a huge problem?
Well, I think that depends on your definition of a huge problem.
So first of all, the "it's not a huge problem" number is 7,000. So that's like 19 hate crimes a day. Is it the biggest problem in the country? Of course not. But acting like this is an indication that racism is gone is ridiculous. Then you of course have to compare the 250,000 number to the 7,000. So you can either trust the DOJ's comprehensive study or, like, this one dude. Now, hoaxes happen, of course, and they really hang on the Jussie Smollett one because it was blown up in the media, which is fair, because that case was really stupid. He hired 2 black guys to pretend to be white MAGA hat guys, beat him up, and tie a noose around his neck. But everyone should have seen through this story immediately, because it hinges entirely on the fact that 2 white racist MAGA guys recognized a lead from the all-black music drama series Empire.
I heard, as I was crossing the intersection, I heard Empire.
Holy shit, is that f***ing Tony Hightower from Tyler Perry's Medea on the Run? Get him! The point is, even if we were generous and said half of them were made up, there's still thousands happening every year, and that's not good. If Matt Walsh was smart, instead of denying reality, he could have pointed out the correct conclusion that the kind of people that voluntarily sign up for DEI trainings probably aren't committing hate crimes before or after these workshops. Problem 635. Matt fumbles so hard he could probably burn cereal. The final thing to focus on is Matt's big interview with Robin DiAngelo herself. I briefly mentioned what I think of Robin DiAngelo. She has ideas rooted in real problems, like systemic injustice and racial biases, but she takes it to such an extreme that I find it insane that anyone ever took her seriously. Sure, it's good to reflect on racist assumptions, or not to get defensive if someone calls you out for doing something problematic, but she presents these ideas in such a strict and self-affirming ideology, so that anyone who pushes back against any of her ideas automatically fits her category of a fragile white person. I know colorblindness will make you ignorant of other people's backgrounds, perspectives, and history, but Robin absolutely loops around to the, okay, you're so sensitive about this that you're actually kind of racist.
When I go to the grocery store, I see a black person, I feel almost an uncontrollable sense of urgency to signal to them that I'm okay and that I'm not racist.
Video who has some pretty stupid racial views. This is presented as the big moment. Let's watch him f it up. First, he asks a bunch of questions with nuanced answers that he probably cut out. For example, is it possible for a white person to not have privilege?
Is there any way to get rid of white privilege?
You can't just opt out. You can do your best to challenge it. That in a way is opting out.
Robin correctly points out that you can't just make everyone treat everyone else the same overnight, and you can only really change yourself in the short term. This is what Matt later frames as, we can never ever fix racism. Then Matt tries to roleplay. He pretends to be an incredibly obtuse person of color that's mad at Robin for smiling at them and also not smiling at them.
I noticed you passed by me in the hall. You were really overdoing the smile.
Certainly would not have intended to have that impact on you, but I'm very clear that I did have that impact on you. I would love to offer you a repair if that's something you're ready for.
When I'm ready to talk, I'll talk to you.
Understood.
Hi, Robin. This time you didn't even smile at all. I don't feel comfortable with you in this workplace.
I'm a little bit confused about how best to proceed. I can't deny that I am. Would you be willing to give me some guidance?
I don't think it's up to me to educate you.
Understood.
And somehow, Robin gives the most respectful and reasonable response to his stupid strawman character, completely humoring him and looking like an amicable and level-headed person. Remember that this is all edited by Matt Walsh and his team to make her look as bad as possible. And finally, in maybe the most baffling moment of the entire movie, Matt attempts to escalate by trying to get Robin to personally give reparations to his black producer. First, he does it himself.
I want to pay you reparations right now. Will you accept?
I won't turn it down.
And Robin sees through this performative bullshit and laughs.
Pay any,
That was really weird.
Yeah, the woman who said, "I feel a compelling urge to signal to black people in the grocery store that I'm an ally," thinks you're being weird. She explains herself, saying, yeah, you can give them some money, but reparations would have to be systemic to actually do anything. And what you just did was a mostly meaningless gesture.
It just seemed like it's not a systemic approach.
This is, of course, too nuanced for Matt, who again uses his straw man idea of leftist language to try to coerce her into doing it.
It's not, because I'm not waiting for the system. I'm acting as an individual.
And I say coerce because they all but rob her in this scene by pressuring her to give money.
I can go get some cash for sure.
And she only does it so that they can move on, because even she thinks it's stupid.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I think he genuinely could have gotten her on board with some sort of racial reparations, or even a racial tax, if he framed it the right way. But this is such a big fumble that I truly can't believe he bragged about it.
And we didn't force her to do anything. She does ultimately pay reparations, spoiler alert, but she did that to herself. We didn't do that, I'm afraid to say.
I can go get some cash for sure.
This scene exemplifies the problems with the whole movie. He doesn't understand their actual positions, so his attempts at escalation are so out of touch that even the craziest people think he's being silly. They immediately see through his bad performance. The worst things are said completely absent of his input, and almost every win he gets over these people involves his coercion to the point where he may as well not have done it, since they're only doing it to get him to shut up. Now, I didn't have time to delve into everything, like the cringy, bespoke, anti-DEI rap soundtrack,
Don't be a bigot, post a black square, drink Bud.
and every other person that saw through his dumb facade.
But you're stretching up like this, out of your whiteness. Okay, so you're decentering your whiteness. You're stretching out of...
But don't take my word for it. I recommend that you purchase this movie at full price on the Pirate Bay. This movie could have been a good expose on the dumb DEI trainings being a grift to exploit white guilt for way too much money. At best, it did get some good footage of the crazy things these people say, but instead of playing into that and escalating it naturally, Matt Walsh completely derails it whenever it gets good. The best parts of the movie are when Matt isn't even on screen. And even Matt agrees with that, because his best moments flashback montage barely features him at all. These DEI industry workshops can be lame, but as Matt showed, they're pretty unpopular with most normal people. Whether it's the language, like telling people that only white people can be racist, the performative exercises, or ultimately the failure to communicate academic concepts to the layman, they just don't resonate with most. And that sucks, because teaching about unconscious bias, the downstream effects of historic racism, sensitivity, and inclusion of others is something I strongly support. Racism is nowhere near as bad as it's ever been in this country, but we're not post-racial, and we could do a lot better. But in the end, even if Matt did a good job of exposing the worst parts of the DEI industry, it wouldn't make a huge difference to me, because, yeah, Matt Walsh, you are racist.
But while the left, Democrats, and protesters put all the blame on the police officer as per usual, I think we need to start asking some questions about the personal responsibility of the suspect.
Ever since the beginning of time, teenage girls have been getting pregnant. I'm more worried about, about him, Mohammed than I am worried about Tony Bagels or Bobby Glasses or Baby Shacks or Meatballs.
If you take away the Anglo-Saxon culture, which is what started this damn country, race or culture, like what are you promoting? Both. You can't separate them. They're the same. A country is more than just a border. What I like most is the culture philosophy that was distinctly Western Anglo-Saxon. When these other groups come, when the original inhabitants, of course, were Native Americans, but forget about that for a second. Everyone else has.
We're bringing in a flood of immigrants over the southern border, non-white. We're putting policies in place with the express purpose of having fewer white people in universities and in positions of power. And we're celebrating the reduction in the white population. It sounds like you want to replace white people. Black Americans are doing better here today than they would be had their ancestors generations ago never been brought to these shores. All of us today would be in a worse spot if slavery never existed at all across the entire globe.
And so on and so forth.
You know how some people make it big and kick the ladder out from under them? Well, I like to extend as many ladders as possible in a segment that I call Oops, All Ladders. Today's feature is Fireside.
140% Arcane Surge effect, which is not bad, yeah. And the Arcane Surge effect by default is like 20%, so that would be like 40. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Lots of cast speed. Cool shit. And there's Archmage, so there's a lot of things that scale with mana and intelligence, right? Although this one's the only one that scales with intelligence, actually, but whatever. So this one scales with spell damage, right? Arcane Surge scales with mana. That's 70% there. It's pretty wild, yeah. What else? And of course, Archmage, the classic, the best one there is. Okay, 6%, right? Here. So I need to get a ton more mana. I'll get that. I'll do that. No big deal. My belt is not shit. What can I say? That's mean. Okay, I'll up this one then. Can I buy it? What the fuck? What? Can I? Alright, I can buy it. Great. I'll buy this one too. I'll have both of them. I only have one Regal Orb though. This one's not bad. I feel like this one has potential. Ah. Okay, fine. That's terrible. Could have been so much better. You know what? I'll up this one. Oh, I can't do that anymore. Okay. Not bad at all.
Need something, my wares are renowned.
What about ES glows? I don't have any ES glows. Like, Energy Shield is by far the best defense player, right? By far. It's only by competition.
Speak up. Do not wander.
Okay, this is fucking hard.
Go there. Take your time. I shall put this to use.
No glows, really? Single one.
Sand guide.
Right, so here's the deal, right? I'll go to put key. I'll go to unique items, and then belts. I'm gonna check the bases here, right? Life recovery from flasks. There's two. Meginord's Girdle, whatever the fuck that name is, and Midnight's Braid, which is pretty nice actually. Midnight Braid is nice. Yeah, it's quite nice actually. Get that. What's stopping me? Really? No. I guess I don't really need the damage taken recouped as mana. Because I don't like my mana is not my health right now, so I don't need it right now, but I will need it in the future, I would say. So yeah, Midnight Braid is nice. It's just I don't know. I'm not too confident on that. Like Soul Tiefer. Check out both pathexile.com/trade 2. Midnight Braid, exactly that one. Oh, it's cheap. It's very cheap. If I can get like a high roll mana and elemental resist one, that would be great. Here 50, okay, I'll do 45, and elemental resistance, I would do 7, or maybe 8. 8 would be better. Doesn't have many charm slots, to be honest. It's kind of mediocre. Still better than what I have right now. Much better. This was hoarded. Like, I should definitely replace this. This. It's 1 exalt, but I know, I get it. Why, I understand why people don't respond. It's just of time, and you won't have like you don't have to spend too much stash space on an item that you don't want, you don't care about. Just sell it. Like, who gives a shit? I guess they do apparently. Oh, there we go. And God, I hope this guy doesn't respond. Nanjing cigarettes. Wait, isn't Nanjing the place that was invaded by the Japs? Oh, the Japanese. Sorry. Key. Thank you. Make it search. Why is Arthur Kevin always in that same spot? When it shouldn't be. Yeah. I got what I wanted. Which is a ton of mana. Oh, intelligence also grants mana. I didn't know that. Cool. Heal. Sources is still fucking horrible. Maybe I should switch my helm. Yeah. I don't really need it anymore. And besides, I don't need to like increase my elemental resist cap because I don't even reach the default cap. So what's the point, right?
Need something, browse as long as you like.
Her stock is not refreshed.
Goodbye. Careful, sorry.
Should I whale this? If I get something good? Boom! Okay. Ish. I want to replace this too. But then again, what do I replace it with? Maybe I should just get like a normal ring, yeah, instead of just getting unique items. My entire fucking inventory is just unique items now. And it doesn't make sense.
What?
Yeah, it really doesn't. Vendor stocks are horrible. I'm not getting any good drops. Like, what am I supposed to do? Or maybe I did get a good drop and I just never saw it, but yeah. Oh, I don't care about body armor yet. I still like this one.
We now have their train.
Okay,
For
cool.
glory.
We did Blacklist 2. So where do we head to now? Dreadnought. Okay. Which is where? Is that here? A desert map to travel to Dreadnought. What the fuck is a Dreadnought? Where is that place? Not Malvern Quarry. Oh, it's right here. So, cool. Should I watch the content nuke on Hassan? Maybe I should. You know what? I will. Fuck it. It's slapping time, baby. Ooh, there's a radio.
The world would not be the same.
Okay.
Few people laughed. Few script said.
We think the Houthi Ansarallah is doing what Houthi fucking bloodthirsty, violent pig dogs. Why am I held accountable? God forbid you throw up the fucking green Hamas banner.
Happy birthday to you.
I'm cooked,
All together,
I'm cooked.
happy birthday from Twitch, Hassan. Happy birthday from Twitch.
Oh, hi there. It's me, your old friend, Ethan Klein. It's been a while since we've last spoken. In that time, I've had 3 kids, all boys. I've lost 100 pounds, and I've pissed off 75% of the internet. Probably a lot of you guys, too. Actually talking about there at the NRA meeting that's today in Texas. Someone should bomb. Oh, yeah, and I got a tattoo also, so I'm cool like that now. Left or right, I always thought that, despite our differences, there was one thing we could all agree on. And what was that? That we love America and everything she stands for. Mom and Dad and apple pie. Sure, there's plenty to criticize and endless things to improve, but I thought it was about making a more perfect union, not tearing it down. Marching bands, a pride that only the thing is, there's something kind of scary brewing in America. Communism. That's America. That's America to me. I started a show a couple of years ago with my acquaintance, Hassan Piker. You might remember him from such classics as
America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it, I'm saying it. Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers in a video game. Sorry. Holy shit. That's not what I said. You dumb bitch.
And of course, the Leftovers podcast, which was our show, which we made broadly to goof on the antics of the right. Now, to be clear, I knew about all these edgy and controversial jokes at the time we made the show together, because who am I to judge?
There was Ethan Klein being a delightful human being.
I was just gonna say, if there's another Holocaust, if they start rounding up the Jews again, I hope Ben gets. He presents himself as someone like me, a left-leaning Democrat who supports basic things. And we went on making the show for about 2 years, and everything was good. Everyone was having fun, the audience was having fun, no problem. That was until this happened. We were doing our regular show, and for the first time I noticed an inordinate amount of radical, hardcore leftists. I mean, I thought we were social democrats, not whatever this was. I don't hate the idea of like people who can be successful. I think it's good that people can achieve success in the term monetary success. I mean, that's what that means, right? I do. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Because I see so many people in the chat saying no.
I don't know what y'all are tripping about. Like, what the fuck do you?
What is the idea that
you guys
people are looking for?
You guys are all like radical communists. There's that many radical communists. Suck it, chat. You're watching a capitalist pig. Deal with it. And then this happened. This comment from Hassan really started to sound some alarms in my head.
If you're in a socialist country with multiple parties, and one of the parties is a capitalist party, which would surely exist.
Yeah.
What would you do if that party started gaining momentum?
The solution to that would always be education.
Re-education.
And offering more...
Re-education?
Re-education, certainly, yeah. There should be an enforcement mechanism, and in that enforcement mechanism, I think like rehabilitation, which would include re-education as well.
If putting capitalists in re-education camps isn't disturbing enough, I started to notice that Hassan was carrying a lot of water for communist states' war crimes and genocides.
What do you call Crimea? I call it a part of Russian territory, bitch. That's what I call Crimea. I call it Crimea River, a Russian river. The annexation of Crimea is absolutely a justifiable annexation. Tibet was literally a fucking feudal slave mandate, like
So
autonomous zone.
China did them a favor.
That was one. I mean, in America, when I say something like this, people get very upset. You know, we talk about the Dalai Lama saying "suck my tongue" or whatever, but like that's not far from the norm in fucking normal Tibetan existence before the Communist Party came in and took over.
They were civilized, you know. They got civilized. They were savages.
Laterally
so to speak.
took over Tibet.
Like
these are their culture. They basically are trying to, homogenize the culture.
If your culture,
they're trying to squirrel.
Yeah, there are bad cultures. You're a bad culture. If your culture is anti-communist, you are bad. If your culture is bad, if I deem it bad, you must be wiped out. But don't you dare speak ill of the Muslims, because their culture, you might not like it, but it doesn't justify blah 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 blah. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Be consistently fucking awful. If you just be consistent. You're like, if you're gonna be awful, if you're gonna be a shit person, at least be consistent with that, you bitch.
Religion and the identity.
You blob.
Part of feudal warlords and slavery, abolishing that. Yes, I do think that is good.
Yes, yes, they were civilized. Don't understand that, Ethan? Ethan, don't you understand that? They got civilized. They had a bad culture. Please don't make any other parallels. Just only make parallels in regards to communist states colonizing other states.
And it did them a favor.
This is a good way to...
God, what a fucking piece of shit, though.
Describe Taiwan as well.
Also, wait a second. I gotta talk about this vermin a little bit more. This cockroach. Hassan the cockroach is part of this podcast, right? What was the podcast called? Doesn't matter. The podcast name doesn't matter. I know what it was called, by the way. I remember it exactly. Like, it starts with a D, but I'm not gonna name the podcast. Anyways, this podcast has two hosts. Or actually, I think it was 2 or 3. Anyways, one of them is called Hakim. This guy is, so to speak, a demon. If this guy was like Slade, if this guy's head was on a pike, I'll be fucking celebrating. And you know why? This motherfucker is a Saddam Hussein supporter. As in, not like Iraq war was bad, America shouldn't have gone there. No, this motherfucker would suck the dick of Saddam. And you know what Saddam did? And you know what that relates to, how this all relates to Hassan? Hassan is a Turk, right? And you know what Saddam did to Kurdish people? Like, the world's most devastating chemical attack targeting civilians, right? In Halabja massacre. But it wasn't just that. That wasn't like an isolated incident. The Anfal campaign, but whatever. I'm not gonna get into all of that. All I want you to know is, this fucking vermin, this roach right here, is in cahoots with a literal fucking genocidal piece of shit maniac. And at the same time, this fucking vermin has the audacity to say that he supports the Kurdish people. You fucking don't. You bitch. Vermin. Roach.
Oh,
See? I'm applying the same genocidal fucking terms onto this idiot right here. Because why not?
American federal...
Let's all be fucking awful.
government going into the fucking South and killing, unfortunately.
Oh God, he's gonna make that comparison.
That Civil War?
Yes.
Muslim minority group, the Uyghurs.
Don't they have Uyghur death camps? Is that?
It's not a death camp. It's
Yeah, they're just being educated on the glory of the Chinese state, or the Chinese culture. Their mosques aren't being destroyed. They're just being, repaired. Stuff like that.
they were re-education camps at.
He's just so fucking oblivious to like how normal people understand things. Re-education camps. He's talking about like how it's this virtuous, beautiful thing. Fucking roach.
They are no longer in operation.
I'm gonna call him a roach. I'm just gonna call him a roach. That's it.
Is that
according?
I'm gonna refer to him as the roach. Him and roach. Those are his pronouns now.
True.
Him, his, he, him, / roach.
The Associated Press.
Okay. I saw this
But, yeah,
crazy
they're-
documentary, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm telling you, there was you in Oregon. From a Uyghur. But why is that? Is that really that crazy?
The Associated Press quietly fucking wrote an article that didn't get a lot of coverage in mainstream media about how, like, okay, well,
Oh God. It's just so hilarious, like how every populist dipshit is about the mainstream media. The mainstream media is this. The mainstream media is that. The mainstream media sucks your dick. The same applies to Trump. The same applies to this fucking roach. The thing you're complaining about is in the process of suckling on your dick.
All the concentration camps have been closed now. Like all the re-education camps are closed now.
Also, that's not true, by the way.
Fucking Xinjiang, and it's like very different vibes in Xinjiang, and now it's
vibes.
It's the tourism hour.
Let's see what the Associated Press actually had to say about
Vibes.
this. These are all AP articles from the last 2 years. UK independent body reports China committed genocide in Xinjiang. China sanctioned a U.S. research firm and 2 individuals over a report about the human rights violations in Xinjiang.
They are being re-educated, Ethan. Don't you understand? That's a great word. That's a great virtuous word.
The tourism hour.
To China's fury.
The young turds. Like, it's just so hilarious how his entire family is just so weird and so fucking demonic. Okay, maybe not demonic because that's a strong term. I'm gonna reserve that term for megatards, for the Trump family. But for this guy, what should I call their family? How should I insult him? Which word do I use? I don't know, whatever. His family, right? You look at Jenkum, as I like to call him. His name is, okay, Cenk Uygur, right? The host of the Young Turds, which his actual real name is, by the way, is Jenkum, and the reason why he's named Jenkum is because he's full of shit. Anyways, Jenkum is now a megatard, and to Hassan's credit, he's kind of coming against his uncle here, although I'm not sure by how much. His uncle is gone crazy. Cenk has gone fucking insane, and I think Hassan's father is he had a board position in a very rich holding in Turkey. I know that much. I think it was it the Sabancı? Anyways, his father's quite rich. I think he's one of the co-founders of a political party, which is not too popular, but it is known at the very least. So yeah, it's a very weird fucking family.
UN accuses Beijing of Uyghur rights abuses.
Tourism hour.
Uyghur County in China has the highest prison rate in the world. 1 in 25 people is in a Chinese prison.
It's the tourism hour.
48 Uyghurs detained in Thailand for almost 11 years are on hunger strike to protest their imminent deportation to China, where they face imprisonment or execution.
Not only does this AP article seem not to exist, reading the AP proved exactly the opposite. Hassan has happily eaten up the Chinese propaganda on this and has regurgitated it to his mainstream audience. Why is he defending China's genocide of their Muslim population? How does this even make sense?
Also, he would defend any type of genocidal maniac as long as they were coming out, as they came out and said America lebad, America le imperialism. and then Hassan would eat that up. Hassan would lap that up. He would eat it like a dog. Anyways, he would eat it like a dog, and then in the same sentence, the same autocrat who's committing like this hypothetical genocide, which Russia is doing, and so is China, would say like, oh, the West wokeness, the wokes are the woke mind virus or whatever the fuck, and he would complaining about the West being woke. He was complaining about them like being gay and shit, and then someone would excuse, oh, he's just like this, and then the conservatives would lap that up, Then conservatives would excuse the other part, or literally agree with it. I don't know. Like, these autocrats, they say nice sounding words to each of these political niches of the far right, and now it's not even the niche far right anymore. It's even the normal right wingers like this at this point, and then people like Hassan say something about imperialism, say something about woke people, and boom, you won.
Get you an organ from a Uyghur.
Views, and I've been a stalwart supporter of the Palestinian cause for many years. The problem with Hassan's coverage, and a lot of people like him, was their complete lack of empathy for the Jewish people who were frankly slaughtered by Hamas. He refused to show even a crumb of empathy for the Jewish victims.
But he can't. Again, Hassan doesn't have something called empathy. That's not what he has. What he has is what's sometimes referred to as selective empathy, which is not empathy. It's just, I don't even know what it is. It's just, I guess, like pretend empathy, I would say. That's the least offensive way I can say it.
I don't know what this guy has to say.
And as you might have seen, there was some sort of rave or desert party where they were having a great time until the resistance came in electrified hang gliders and took at least several dozen hipsters. But I'm sure they're doing very fine despite what the New York Post says. But nobody had seen this coming.
I mean, that's insane, right?
Yeah, that is insane. But let's just see.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
okay.
I'm
just criticizing people. You don't have to comment if you're not comfortable about it.
I honestly felt at times that he and his audience barely thought of Israelis as humans.
Wait. What is he playing in the background? Is that Marvel Rivals in the background?
This dude.
I never played that game. That's the only recent game that came to my mind that was like third person, like a hero shooter.
It's called babies militants.
No, I understand. And there are baby settlers as well. But there are baby settlers as well. There are babies in the settlements.
Part of running.
I love that shit, bro. Bro, like, he literally bites every single bullet. He's chomping on them bullets. His cereal? Yeah, it's full of bullets. 9mm. Fuck it, it's not even 9mm. It's 5.56mm. NATO.
Defense for Hamas is...
Or maybe the commie version. Was it? I don't know what the commie version is called.
Downplaying the violence, specifically the sexual violence, which he's done a lot of.
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for me even this much.
Yep.
So
why?
That's the other part of this problem that many people can't contend with. Like,
or maybe let's just be charitable here, right, guys? I mean, people got massacred. Lots of most civilians, vast majority of civilians got massacred for no fucking reason. Maybe he's like, maybe he's saying, who cares about rapes? Maybe lots of people died, that maybe he cares about that too, Let's see. I'm just being charitable here. I know exactly what I was going to say though.
The Palestinian resistance.
Oh, there we go.
Is not perfect. They're not like so good.
Wait, I thought rapes didn't happen. But even if they did, they would be good?
Have magical bullets.
What do you mean magical bullets? Wait, bullets can rape people?
The Palestinian resistance is not perfect. They're not like so good. They have magical bullets. Is not perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Of course, if you compare the raw numbers, Gazans have lost a lot more than Israelis. True. 40,000 people have died, and neighborhoods have been completely flattened during this war.
True.
And while we should keep their plight at the top of our minds at all time, It also doesn't mean that we should disregard the lives of the Jewish people who are also affected by this.
And yes, and while he makes a good point here, what's more important is because of the fucking like unnecessary civilian fucking massacre Hamas committed. And it's not because of just that, obviously, but it's a triggering point. It's also the fault of Netanyahu and Israel at large. But this stupid fucking so-called resistance resulted in them being wiped out. Lots of civilians dying. What's the fucking point? You killed their civilians, they killed your civilians. And now you're dead too. What was the fucking point? And what's so mind-boggling about this whole ordeal is these like college kids, right? These college kids were like so fucking eager to defend Hamas, right? But when you ask these same college kids about Russia and Ukraine, Russia is like entirely wrong, has absolutely no ground to stand on, no moral ground to stand on, and yet they won't give you a clear answer on that either. They're not going to be as enthusiastic about that. Why? Why is that the case? I don't know, motherfucker. I don't know. Why aren't they as enthusiastic about that shit? Like, Russia is like a demonic nation at this point. I consider them as such. And yet, they're silent about that? What makes, like... Okay, I understand, like, you can support both of them, you know? But what makes the Palestinian plight so much more important to you? Whatever, I'm just gonna move on. Let's just watch the video.
Their suffering on the whole is not as great. Some of you may know that I'm an Israeli dual citizen. My wife is Israeli, my kids are half Israeli, and my entire in-law is Israeli. I lived there for 5 years, and I grew a closeness with the country and its people. One of the biggest issues between me, Hassan, and his community was that I am in favor of a two-state solution, while they are in favor of a one-state solution.
Where Israel is wiped out.
Their theory is that after the October 7th attack, Israel should just dissolve its borders and let Hamas enter Israel unrestrained.
What do you think Israel should have done in response to October 7th?
Instead of indiscriminately bombing Gaza, I think the first thing to do in that situation would be to dismantle the government in the way that it existed, like get Netanyahu out of power.
Okay. So you're saying...
Wait. But I don't understand why Netanyahu would go out of power because Hamas attacked them. I guess it could be that he was not prepared enough.
Israel.
Okay, maybe he's just like Netanyahu. Maybe he just doesn't like the right wing coalition. Who knows? Let's see.
Hold on, dude. You're saying
let's be charitable again. Oh shit! Fuck! I clicked on this button again. Where was I? Shit, I forgot. Oh, right here.
Is literally
there's only
people in your chat are trying to tell you care at all about calling me racist. And you do you care?
Situation after.
Wait, shit. I'm sorry. I really am sorry.
I just opened it, but don't you have moderators? Do you care at all about what your audience says about me?
There's 32,000 people in here right now.
I'm just trying to
Yeah, I can't do anything about my people.
tell you guys how it feels. And I'm fucking shocked that you don't care that people in your chat are saying, who the fuck is this child, cold, arrogant, kind as fuck.
I love you, but there's only...
No, you don't. No, you fucking don't. You don't love anybody but yourself, you bitch.
So much I can do.
How can you be surprised when your Discord is literally full of fucking...
Ethan, I love you, but there's only so much I can do if you're making that argument. You know that, right? Like
Hassan's chat had been calling me a Zionist, baby-killing genocider. Maybe it is unreasonable that I'm asking him to moderate his chat for a friend. He doesn't even know where I'm coming from because it's not something he would ever ask for.
And all these other content creators actually, whipping their communities when their chat is going fucking absolutely bananas over random...
Oh, sorry. accidentally pressed on my mic.
Dumb shit, and bringing my name up for no fucking reason. That you were just allowing that shit to run rampant in your chat, and I thought that was fucked up.
Ethan, I love you, but there's only so much I can do.
Especially as someone who thought we were fucking friends. I think that's a reasonable expectation for someone who you consider to be a friend.
The problem wasn't that he was pro-Palestinian, because I share a lot of those views, and I've been a stalwart supporter of the Palestinian cause for many years. The problem with Hassan's coverage, and a lot of people like him, was their complete lack of empathy for the Jewish people who were frankly slaughtered by Hamas.
Wait, oh shit! I went through all these parts then. Oh, he goes through the podcast too. The podcast I mentioned. These fucking, and I know exactly which one it is. This weird hipster looking fucking retard. It's that one. And this one is like a roach, another roach again. Like the soy boy looking one, this hipster looking one, and whatever the fuck this is.
And you want America in the way that I feel.
Second thought, and this is Hakeem.
About it, and if you want America to get out of the way for places with more revolution.
For the Holocaust, they came from the surrounding Arab countries.
Did?
You may know that.
Right. I was okay. I just replayed the same part.
Situation would be to dismantle.
Saying Israel should have dismantled their own government.
First set of actions would be to democratically take Netanyahu out of power. Yes.
Okay.
The problem is that Israel's been at war with its neighbors for 70 plus years, and it makes a lot of sense that there be some distrust there. Is it really insane to think that Jews, as an ethnic minority in Israel, would not be safe? After all, Israel is...
That is true as well.
...a country of refugees. If the Jews didn't come from Europe after the Holocaust, they came from the surrounding Arab countries that expelled them in massive amounts following the 1948 war. In fact, there was more Jews displaced than Palestinians during the Nakba. 1 million Jews. All of these surrounding Arab countries had vibrant Jewish communities in huge number, hundreds of thousands. Now, if you look at them, you're looking at close to, if not literally, 0 Jews left in these countries.
Just to give you an idea, here's a visual representation of the Jewish refugees after 1948. Morocco had 265,000 Jews. Now it has 2,000. Algeria had 140,000. Now
Iraq has 10.
It has about...
Are surrounded by Islamic militant terrorist groups.
True.
Charity after the war started.
Are surrounded by...
Okay, I should watch the whole video.
Annihilate Israel. Being pogromed from Arab countries. Is it really that crazy for them to not feel safe as an ethnic minority, even a little bit?
And that's pretty much the entirety of our disagreement. Despite what you've read on TikTok and Twitter, I've donated $6,500 to a Palestinian charity after the war started.
Hey, Ethan Klein, thank you for the dono. Ethan Klein gave $6,500. My goat. Thank you, Ethan.
Condemned Netanyahu as a war criminal. They're led by Netanyahu, who should resign in disgrace and go to prison for being a war criminal. Called the West Bank settlements an abomination. Settlers in the West Bank are religious zealots. They're monsters. They're genocidal.
True.
I've even said the West Bank settlers are valid military targets.
When you talk
he
about
said
like
that too. He said that too.
Settlers and stuff like that's what's
And I agree
actually
with that.
happening
I agree with
in the
that.
West Bank right now. And these people are more or less valid military targets, in my opinion.
My only crime is wanting a two-state solution instead of one, and thinking it's not okay to kill Israeli civilians. That's it. That's why they're calling me a Nazi Zionist. And because of Hassan and others spreading this malicious lie about my beliefs, I'm even getting harassed on the street.
So how come you don't like
this one.
Palestine?
I like Palestine.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. Why do you say that? Let's see. Because I heard. Because there was a TikTok video on you or something.
Because, bro, you're... wasn't she in the IDF?
Wasn't she? No. Like he just talks such this... Like, he thinks he's confronting them. He's like, in reality, he's just acting like a retard.
Yeah.
Wasn't she in the IDF?
Oh, damn, that's crazy.
Oh, damn, that's crazy. You know why she wasn't in the IDF? Because it's fucking mandatory, you muck!
Mandatory service.
That's sad. That's terrorism, bro.
That's terrorism, bro. That's sad. Oh. Like, he just talks like a retarded child, too. Oh, it was this dude? You look like a rapist, this guy. Let's see.
You're ugly as fuck, bro. You're ugly as shit. You look like a rapist, bro.
I'm tired of all coward Americans in the South trying to act like they're so tough. Oh, I'm American. Oh, you don't even run your own country.
What? You don't even run your own country? Wait. What does that mean? Democracy means you get to pick who runs your country. There is not a single country on Earth where the people, every single person runs their country. Imagine I guess this retard imagines like a world where like you have like a fucking nuclear silo at your own house, or maybe like you have the nuclear codes. Everybody has nuclear codes, and if someone just acts like it, just press the fucking button, or everybody can just make their own policy. Like, what the fuck do you think? How do you think democracy works, you imbecile?
You don't run your own country.
Let me guess. Is he gonna elaborate on this shit, or is it just gonna be like a emotional, stupid argument that makes no fucking sense, that has no substance? Bro.
You don't run.
Yeah, stop saying the same thing over and over. Explain.
Your own country, a foreign country.
Oh god. Oh, never mind. I completely misunderstood. It was the Israel runs their country argument. Okay, let's move on with. I misunderstood. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say to that, really. I mean, with Trump, I might actually agree. But then again, no, I don't.
In Israel, runs
boom
your country. Oh my God, bro! I love you, Hassan. Can I give you a hug, bro?
I'm so sweaty, bro.
Oh, it's this dude. Ew.
Love you, bro.
I'm so sweaty.
I love you, bro.
I mean, that's okay, but like, he doesn't want you to hug him.
I have to interview you. You're my hero, bro. I love you, bro. You're the coolest guy in the world, bro. Hold on, I think I look gay in that one. Hold on.
Whoa! What? Of course. I mean, wait, why am I surprised? Of course.
Okay, 3.
And Hassan is not gonna comment on that. Hassan, you know how awful that sounds, right?
2.
He knows, he's so fucking uncomfortable.
1.
Hold on, I think I look gay in that one. Hold on.
Okay.
The funny thing about me, I don't like terrorism, and I don't like terrorists. If they're Jews, Christians, Muslims, they're all bad. What is terrorism? It's intentionally targeting civilian population for political goals.
Yeah, usually to instill fear.
I don't like it. None of it. And over time, I started to learn that my co-host, he really likes terrorists.
Oh no! Oh, these clips. Oh, this one is an OG. This one is a hood classic. What you're about to watch is a hood classic. Let me show you this hood classic. Okay, so what Hassan does here is he leaves a hoofy propaganda video on, and then Nimplol, this guy's a Twitch streamer. I don't know his real name actually. I don't know. I know it's like Elias tag, whatever. And he leaves. This guy's like a very normie dude. Like, he doesn't care about any of this shit. He just wants to be with his friend, or at least his assumed friend. And what Hassan does is leave this propaganda video on and just leaves him here, goes to whatever the fuck wherever he's going, I guess, toilet maybe, and then he's just uncomfortable. He's clearly uncomfortable.
They do musicals. They're very musical.
They're very musical people. And then his chat is like, what the fuck? Like hoofies. These are hoofies. These motherfuckers are like the worst.
Are you being serious? Dog.
Like, he's just so like innocent that he thinks like he's being ironic or something.
What are you?
But no, he's just so stupid. He's so imbecilic.
Look!
Like, he's stuttering there too.
This isn't music.
You think I made this? What does that mean?
I know they're singing, but I'm seeing just guns and shoot. This isn't a music video, Hassan. Taking over these ships, they started targeting the ships. The people on this
Yeah, they just bombed random fucking ships. Wow, great for them.
helicopter right now? Yes. They're streaming this? Yeah. Yeah. They're flexing.
They're flexing.
What? And
flexing what? All these motherfuckers are like poor as shit. Their country is in fucking ruins because of them too. Although, to be fair, the Saudis aren't that good either. But like, these motherfuckers actively make that shit worse.
They're coming in hot with guns.
Yeah, but you have to understand.
But you have to understand, they're good. They're brown.
This is a deterrence.
They're deterrents. Deterrents from what, bro? You get into their ships. Like, do I just go into someone's house like with guns blazing and shit? Deterrents, and they pull out their own guns. They shoot them, and it was like deterrents, bro. I deterred them.
Who?
I mean, what was I gonna do?
These Ansar Allah is doing.
Oh god, this Luffy. Can we get the Luffy clip, please?
What Luffy would do? You should tell.
Okay, that was the Luffy clip. Never mind. This one's great, man.
That.
Hezbollah is a paramilitary organization.
Do we like them or no?
Like, what is so impressive here? What is just so mind-boggling is what I talked about earlier. Hassan is just so coy. He's just so pussy-footed when it comes to supporting Ukraine against Russian aggression. But when it comes to this, he's willing to support literal fucking terrorists. What is going on here, Hassan? Are you, perhaps are you fucking brain rotten? Perhaps you're a Kremlin shill? Perhaps you're a fucking retard? Hassan, what is it? Tell us. Roach! Orospuchuchu! Okay, I'm done here. This video is over. I'm not gonna react further. You reacted to yourself, okay? This wasn't a video, by the way. This was a live stream. You can see here. Let's stop streaming here. The button. That's it. That's the video. I reacted. I reacted a lot too. Like, that was a lot of reaction right there. I hope you're content with that. I hope you're happy. Whoever you are. I think this might be this might be the first clip from my live stream that I will upload to my YouTube. So yeah, I think I'm gonna cut the stream here so I can upload the video and so on. And I'll be back. I might stream again. So that's it. That's the stream or video, whatever. Thank you. Thank you, and please take care of yourself.